All right. New week. We got new stuff. We got a whole lot of wrestling to talk about.
It feels like it was a really good week of wrestling too. I think,
Yeah, I think all the shows were pretty damn good. They all delivered.
and we're gonna get into all of them in this episode of Off the Top Rope.
Sound like you cut off there, my man.
I uh I saw an image of the Saints loss randomly, and I malfunctioned for a second.
It's okay, man. It's okay. The Bears lost too.
Yeah,
So we ain't gonna talk about football here because it'll be nothing but sadness on this channel. And we got some good shit to talk about. So
let's get into this TNA.
yeah,
Oh
this is
wait! I am super off. You know what we need to talk about first?
what do we got to talk about?
We got to talk about that Twitter. If y'all are not following Twitter, please do at TAGPW podcast. You're going to get a lot of tweets from us. You'll be able to catch all of our uploads. We post them there as well. You'll be able to get our hot takes, our cold takes, spicy takes, everything. So if you're not following us over there already, you're missing out. So go ahead and follow us on Twitter.
And also, if while you follow us on Twitter, why don't you follow us on the channel too? Hit that subscribe button. For sure helps us out. Lets us know you like our content. Tap the bell so you can get our get a notification when our shows come up because we've seen that a new episode will pop up and nobody knows because YouTube is weird like that. And also, if you like the episode, comment. We like comments. Everybody likes comments. Let's get some conversation going about the topics. And climb up on that top rope and drop an elbow on that like button. We
Oh,
appreciate it.
yeah. Now, my debacles aside, my sadness aside, let's get into that
Mhm.
goodness that is TNA Impact. What happened this week, Prophet?
Oh man. Okay, let's start. So right at the beginning of the show, right? They show a little recap of the last pay-per-view. I think it was Victory Road, and this is like the first show right after. So, of course, it's showing Alexander. He lost to Joe Hendry. Via he tapped out. Uh, you know, from his own move to ankle lock.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it showed Nic Nemeth. It showed Nic Nemeth winning. Did a little thing, talked about him being the face of the company and stuff like that. And then we went straight in to the ring with the best heater in the business, the one that gets people booing immediately when she talks, Alisha Edwards of the System.
That jersey's sick though. I'm not gonna hold you. I kind of like that jersey that she got on.
Oh, dude, all the System stuff. Like, I want that shirt that they got now. Go lie, that shirt is dope.
Man,
So Alisha Edwards comes out, of course, talking her shit, getting everybody booing, and she calls out Masha Slammovich. And the main thing here is she thinks Masha can't understand what she's saying. She only thinks Masha is, only speaks Russian. Well, she finds out the hard way. Masha, she so Alisha starts talking, saying like, "Hey, I could talk all the shit I want. You pretty much don't understand me anyway." Masha snatches the mic from her, says something in Russian real quick, and then starts speaking English and speaking perfect English. It's like, hey, what that meant in Russian was, I understand every word you're saying. And yeah, no, like, you were not the brains of the operation. This shit isn't going down. And then, Masha can, starts, going in full promo, and then Alisha Edwards is like, what are you gonna do? You gonna hit me or something? Or, I'm not medically cleared. She was hiding behind that, right? And then there was a certain point where Masha was like, well, shit, I don't care. you know, I know Alicia Edwards thought she was invincible at that point, but she forgot Masha Slammovich is one crazy Russian, and she does not give a fuck. So she would have dropped you on your head again. So yeah, right when she was about to like do something, uh, Tasha Steelz comes down, and a fight starts. More people come down. So it was Tasha Steelz comes down. They start fight. Her and Masha start fighting. Um, and then like the rest of the system comes down. Jordan Grace comes down now. Right after that, and starts helping. And then who was it? There was one more person. Oh, that's right. The two old men come down to the ring. The Hardy. One that looks like he could barely walk, which is Matt Hardy, and then the other one that I don't know how he's still a little bit limber, but he got to the ring. They cleared out the system. Of course, Santino comes out, makes the match for later tonight between um, Masha Slammovich and the Hardys versus the System. So right after that, Santino's daughter comes out, and then she makes a match for Jordan Grace, a tag match. It's Jordan Grace and a mystery tag partner versus God, I forgot who, I think it was Wendy Chu and Rosemary. I think it was that match, or it was an NXT tag team. God, I forget which tag team it is. It's NXT tag team, so I don't fucking remember.
That's fine.
Overall, good segment. Good way to start the show. Really enjoyed it. Enjoyed that part of it. And then now we go to our next match. Immediately after this, which was so it was First Class being Top Dollar and oh no, I forgot the other guy's name.
Hold on, I got it. Wait. I got it. Judas. Wait, no. Judas Icarit? What?
No,
I don't got it.
Oh, Casey Navarro. Jesus Christ, man. I blanked on that. See, that's what I get for not like writing that shit down.
Don't worry. If anyone got us, WWE 2K24 got us.
Yeah. So what you just saw right there is pretty much what happened. So like right in the beginning, it was like Casey Navarro versus First Class with Casey Navarro and AJ Francis versus Sinner and Saint. Basically, Sinner and Saint, they tried their best against Navarro and and AJ Francis, but they pretty much got their asses handed to them. It ended with AJ Francis doing that big ass choke slam that he does now, and then Navarro doing a move off the top rope, and of course, First Class won. It was I think it was like one of those is what I call the TNA special, a solid 8-minute match, solid 8 to 10 minute match to get the show moving. Center and Saint look pretty good. I've never heard of these guys before. I've never seen them before. So this was my first time seeing them. They're pretty solid. Can't wait to see what they do. They look like they're pretty young talent too. So yeah, I can't wait to see what they do later on.
I feel like Impact is like one of the best places to like kind of get your start. Like if you you're gonna be on TV, right? Like you don't have to really worry about it. Even if you're not on like pay-per-views, you could be on Impact. If you're not Impact, you could be on their web show. I forget what it's called.
Explosion.
Explosion. Thank you. So you have a lot of opportunities to like really like get TV time, and you're not in like high pressure situations like you would be in like WWE or AEW. Low key, I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna sound crazy, but hear me out. NXT is also kind of like a high pressure situation currently. So like, and I'm not saying TNA is bad. I'm not saying anything like that. But TNA is like a lot more low pressure. You can actually make mistakes. You can be fine. You can't really. You can't. Jesus, that voice crack. My voice is dead. You can't really do that in like the other bigger companies. So if you want to learn TV style wrestling, you want to do that. Impact seems like the best place to do it, and doing it that in TNA.
Yeah, Impact bridges the gap for the most part.
Yeah.
And they got enough older talent to vet the younger guys and get them, help get them like up there. Like I think TNA is the best midway point, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not quite like, so you're out of like being in the basics like NXT, right? But you've been around the indies for quite a bit, and you want to take that next step, get onto TV, and start, pretty much like you said, adapting to TV wrestling style.
Mm-hmm.
That's Impact's place right there. And it's good.
It's a good place to be because those shows are fun. Like if you're watching this, you haven't been to a show ever. Definitely first off, go to a wrestling show. If TNA is in your area, definitely feel free to go. The tickets are like cheapish. You'll have a good time. TNA is a fun environment when you're in there. So just take a minute and go. Just go if you haven't.
Yeah, and I also say that like those guys work their ass off, man. Like
They really do.
they don't they like they go in and they do the damn thing. Like it's not like when you go to a TNA show, just know you're gonna get a good show because those guys work their asses off.
Mm-hmm.
You won't leave there like, oh, this one's okay. I've only done that one time, and that's SummerSlam. But no, besides the point. Um, but yeah, for sure. Watch some damn wrestling. Go
Mm-hmm.
to go to a live show. Live show, there's nothing like it.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. So on that, our next match is everybody's lovable King of the Death match. The current GM of GCW, Matt Cardona,
Mm-hmm.
going against Rhino. This was a short match. It wasn't very long. So Matt Cardona and Rhino get in there. They start, tussling around a bit, start fighting. It goes to the outside of the. So at one point, Rhino goes outside and gets a chair, and while Matt Cardona is down, and then the ref is like, "No, you can't use the chair." It was like distracting him. You're about to see it right now. And then Matt Cardona goes, "Fuck it, I'll use the chair," and then he hits Rhino with it, and of course gets disqualified from the match. So as he's beating up Rhino, PCO comes in and he chokeslams Matt Cardona. And while Matt Cardona's like lying on the ground, PCO takes the chair. He's going to the top rope to do like a moonsault. And then Matt Cardona rolls out of the ring. Well, PCO's crazy ass takes the chair and starts beating up the chair. And he does a moonsault on the chair. He does a leg drop on the chair. He just like beating up the chair like it was Matt Cardona. And Matt Cardona is like watching, is like, what did I get myself into? Well, why do I have to fight this crazy motherfucker later? That's the look he was giving. But yeah, like, for what it wasn't bad. It was, it was fun. It was fun. There was some backstage segments, like there was one with EY and Josh Alexander. Eric Young is like, yo, I've been exactly where you're at in my career, but you gotta start mentoring these young guys and getting them up and getting them to, because a lot of people are watching you. So, you're gonna have to start leading by example, and then it goes off and stuff like that. And a little bit later in the night, he comes up to that tag team that just lost, Sinner and Saint, and is like, "Hey, you got any questions or anything? I'm the perfect guy to ask
Oh
because I'm
no.
in the situation." So I think Josh Alexander is going to get a crew of people to start running roughshod around the whole around TNA. So
They're about
um,
TNA's about to do TNA's about to show up AEW. They're about to do a good version of the learning tree. I see you. I
yeah,
see you. You can't trick me.
yeah. Look, crazy ass PCO. Like he's gonna do a moonsault on that chair.
This man is in his 50s doing a moonsault literally on top of a chair. That was also the ugliest moonsault ever, bro. Jesus Christ.
He's 50, man. Give him a break.
God bless.
At least he made it over. Yeah.
Almost. But knowing PCO because of how he is, like, I legitimately think PCO is actually not human sometimes. Because some of the shit that he's taken, even specifically in TNA alone in the last few years,
Oh,
it doesn't
yes.
seem natural. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah, when he got powerbomb on the edge of the chair and like literally like bent his back over the chair. Yeah, no. I don't think he's human.
Oh, God.
Oh, there was also a little thing with Ash by Elegance. Girl showed up and, I guess they gave her card or something like that. And pretty much Ash by Elegance is like, yo, you're in the middle of my time while I'm trying to look glamorous right now. Get out. Pretty much the vibe she was giving the girl. And the girl was like, "Well, okay, watch my match next week against." She has a match next week against somebody, but yeah, it was pretty much Ash by Elegance got on TV, did that, and at the end of it, she just put on her hat and she was like, "Oh, don't I look so glamorous and stuff like that?" So yeah,
Let's go,
uh,
Ash.
get it, Ash. And okay, now we could go to like the next segment because I think I got all the in between ones.
Let's get it.
Next one, Joe Hendry,
Oh,
of
God.
course. So, Joe Hendry is happy about his win against Josh Alexander from the past pay per view, talking about how he made Josh Alexander tap out and that he is on the trajectory for the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, there's been one man that's like has a legit title shot and he keeps getting skipped over. So, of course, Big Cass had to come to the ring, the king of TNA.
Let's go.
He had to come to the ring and be like, "Yo, if anybody's getting a title shot, it's me. I'm the one like every week calling for this title shot, and Nic Nemeth is dodging me." He's like, so he calls Nic Nemeth out, and when Nic Nemeth comes out and gets to the ring, he tells everybody to cut his music so he can talk, and then he's like, "Yo, I sat down and watched all your moves last week or during your title match, and I got you figured out. So you might as well just give that title to me. I'm the next TNA World Heavyweight Champion." And Nic Nemeth comes back. He's like, "All right, first shut up." And then he talks. He turns around. He talks to Joe Hendry. He's like, "Yeah, you're one of our future stars of the company, and uh, pretty much endorsing Joe Hendry or whatever, right?" And then he turns back to Kaz. And he's like, "Hey, you want a shot at this title?" Before he says, "Come get the shot," Santino comes down to the ring. He's like, "I'm going to move the show along because you guys are taking too long. Next week is going to be a number one contenders match between Kazarian and Joe Hendry. Whoever wins gets a shot at Bound for Glory." I think that's the next one. Yeah, I think it's Bound for Glory.
So we're gonna be getting Joe Hendry versus Nic Nemeth at Bound for Glory. Got it.
Yeah. So that was that segment. You know what? I didn't hate it because of Kazarian. And you know what? I saw Kazarian doing this King of TNA thing, and I was like, you know what? Why didn't you do this in AEW?
I will say this though. Like the Kaz at the beginning was definitely like kind of stuck to SCU, right? I mean,
Yeah.
granted, it helped him become one half of the first AEW World Tag Team Champions.
Yep.
So it's like it's not a total loss. But after that, um I would say that he was just kind of stuck like where he was. Like Kaz had the stuff with the Bucks after after they quote unquote retired the SCU as a team.
Yeah.
So he was like the elite hunter for a while, but that was only like a thing on Dark. So like it just a lot of it wasn't really working. He got matches on like Dynamite and stuff. It wasn't working. I feel like this is really good for him here
Hmm.
because at the time he just didn't really have a place in AEW. So I think this is him being king of TNA and doing what he's doing here is really good for him. I don't know if this is going to translate anywhere else, but it doesn't really have to. It's great for TNA.
Yeah. It's great for TNA. Yeah, I like the new I like the new King of TNA thing. You know. But yeah, like just overall, like it kept the show going. That's all
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying about this segment. It kept the show going, right? Uh, and yeah, so the reason why they had to get them out of the damn ring and keep the show going was the next match, which I'll probably call the best match of the night.
Okay.
It was Mike Santana versus JDC in a Texas Death Match. Boy, oh boy, holy shit! It was a bloody match. It was. I did not expect it. Right? Like, yeah. I did not expect how bloody this match was going to be. I'll just say that right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was one point where JDC he starts beating the shit out of Santana. He puts the trash can over his head, and he starts hitting the trash can with a kendo stick. And then Santana lies down, and then he does a leg drop off the top rope onto Santana in the trash can.
God damn.
It looked like JDC fucked himself up though for a minute because he was limping around because the part he hit on the trash can was the hard part. The part of the so not like the other parts that bend on the trash can. He hit the hardest part.
Oh, so
Doing that,
it like didn't collapse.
it didn't collapse. No, like one part
Ugh.
did, but where the leg drop landed, the leg where he was doing the leg drop with where it landed, it was like he pretty much hit thud, right?
Ugh.
So he was limping for a second, and then he got through it. I was like, oh shit, I think we might saw somebody get injured right there, but he didn't. They kept going. He kept going after that. But that's the little spot. Santana came out and he was busted open.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started fighting around the arena some more. Like Santana got a barbed wire bat. Started scraping JDC's head with it and hitting him with it and shit like that. And then JDC got busted open. And when he got busted open, man, it was like a flood of blood everywhere. Like I was like, Jesus.
Ugh.
It
Ugh.
was like by the end of the match, dude, like you look at JDC's pants, it was like blood spots everywhere. Like it was crazy. Like so to end the match, um Santana put like they don't end the match in the ring. They're off like in like towards the ramp in the back area toward not in the back, but towards the ramp area over there.
Mm-hmm.
Santana puts JDC on the table, beats him up. JDC is fucked. He's all fucked up, right? Ooh, yeah, watch this. He's about to powerbomb him on those chairs. Spot we've seen twice this week. But um so Santana puts JDC on the table. Oh my.
Yikes. Yikes.
He puts JDC on the table. And then he looks like he's about to jump. He's like, no, no, no. He gets a ladder and puts the ladder right next to the side of the ramp, and he tells the refs to hold the ladder while he climbs up. And there's one little thing I want to mention here, because I remember Bully Ray talking shit about Powerhouse Hobbs when he had the ref hold the ladder. But on Busted Open, by the way.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And, on TNA, somebody just did the same thing so they can jump off the ladder. Just saying, keep that same energy, bro.
You know he won't. They never do.
So he got the 3 count, and then they did a 10 count. Right? That was the weird part for me. I guess like I thought that when you got the 3 count you won, but apparently it was like 2 parts to this. You got the 3 count, and then the ref started counting to 10. Once the ref reached 10 and JDC couldn't get up and no longer continue, then the match was over. Santana won.
I have seen some weird ones. Well, I'm not gonna say weird. I have seen some Texas deathmatch that have like different rules, where some of them just will do the 10 count, like it's like pinfall or knockout, right? Or like it's like submission or knockout. I've seen some that will do the pinfall. I've never seen them do the pinfall and then the 10 count. That seems like a lot, but I guess it drives it. I guess it drives the point home that this is like he's done. So I guess it works.
Yeah. So Santana, he got back up on the ramp, was raising his hand, and immediately after, Moose comes by and beats the shit out of him with the chair. He beat him so bad. He beat him with the chair so bad. The chair was bent. It was physically fucking bent everywhere. And then Moose, pretty much got his face was like, "Hey, you got into my business. You got into my title match in my business. No, you got something coming." So the feud with Santana and Moose continues. But overall, yeah, that was good. It was a good match. It was bloody, but it was good. I can't really go. Right after that, the final match of the night was the Hardys and Masha Slammovich versus Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, and the current tag team champions from the system, and Tasha Steelz. Who Tasha Steelz is basically filling in for Alisha Edwards at the moment. She's probably going to become part of the system. I mean, why not? She fits it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was. I can't complain about the match. It was pretty much the Hardys' greatest hits. They did all the Hardy things. Well, yes, they did most of them. There was one part where Jeff Hardy did the Whisper in the Wind, and I was like, "Whoa, he can still do that?" Oh, like, okay, and he completely missed, and he just fell on his back. It was a lot of back and forth in the match. It was, it was a fun match to watch, right? And I think this is something we've said on the channel, just about the Hardys in general. I'll say it again. I like the Hardys, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're watching the Hardys. I I want to see the Hardys succeed, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to see Like every time I see Jeff Hardy, I'm like, okay, he's good now. I hope he doesn't fuck this up for the both of them again. That's the every time I see the Hardys, that's my lingering thought. I hope Jeff Hardy doesn't screw it up for them again. They're on a roll. Keep on that roll without fucking up. Please, God, keep on that roll without fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the fans and everything love the Hardys. Jeff did his, he takes the shirt off and does his thing. Masha Slammovich was getting in there, doing work. Both sides did real good. You know, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers are always awesome. They did most of the work for the Hardys.
It makes sense.
But you know what? They did the thing, right? They made the match look good. They Alisha Edwards so at one point Alisha Edwards got thrown out. And she did the thing where she's like, "No, I'm not going anywhere. You can throw me out all you want. I'm not going." Because she like grabbed Matt Hardy's leg when he was like running on the ropes. And the ref threw her out. So the ABC came out and like picked her up and like carried her outside and carried her out of the carried her to the back to get her out of the match. And that's another thing, man. Like it's hard watching Matt Hardy run, dude. It's like two stiff legs trying to like run back and forth. I don't know, man. Like, uh, I like the Hardys, but there's some shit I'm like, whew.
Mm.
It's kind of a stretch, right? Like the age is catching up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's caught up. It's caught up. I ain't gonna say catching up. It's caught up. It's already there, right? Um, but yeah, it was the winners. Of course, was Masha and the Hardys. Um, Hardys pinned the system, you know, and yeah, that was basically like the end of the night, right there. Um, Fans went home happy. It was like that match started going. Those guys, they went crazy, like for the Hardys. So of course it's the Hardys, right?
Exactly.
Um, they're in that tier that we talk about on like almost every podcast. They're in that Legends tier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know they're gonna every time they come out they're gonna get cheered and they're gonna get the highest, some of the loudest ones. But the people were into it, so just overall though, and it was good. It was a decent match, and this episode overall, it was good. I really liked it. There wasn't really anything. There wasn't really anything bad at the episode or anything like questionable or anything like that. It was just a solid episode, of TNA Impact. It's one of the things TNA does best is just they'll at least have a solid episode. I haven't seen any like shit episodes happen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was just another solid episode of Impact, and I'll also say it's also the most sports entertainment I'll take. They
Yeah.
got that nice balance.
Yeah. It probably is a little bit more than what I can do, but it's still tolerable for me. Like I can definitely sit down and watch an episode of Impact and not want to rip my hair out. So it's good.
Yeah, it's good. They got the perfect balance because they first and foremost they got great wrestling. They have great wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
and they showcase it. It's not hidden behind 2 hours of talk. They showcase their wrestling, which is that's one of my main things. It's like showcase your wrestling, and you know what? On the topic of TNA and talking about the wrestling and wrestlers, TNA used to do a thing that was like the Super J Cup.
Yeah.
It was, it was called the Super X Cup. And like one of the original finals um was Juventud Guerrera versus Saban versus Chris Saban.
Mm-hmm.
That was a finals match for the Super X Cup, and then there was like a whole lot of good shit like between that. They need to do that again, in my opinion.
It feels like the ownership of TNA, they don't want to go the tournament route anymore. They're
Yeah.
definitely like they're in their niche, right? Their TNA is where I believe TNA wants to be. Like
Mhm.
it's definitely a good show. It's watchable week to week. They have the relationship with WWE within TNA. They're getting their people over there. So it feels like right now they're, I don't want to say comfortable because I don't think any wrestling company is comfortable, but it feels like they're just kind of riding in their era right now because like no matter what, they are in a good place. They have probably more eyes on them now than they probably have had in a long time. Still, uh, things are looking up for TNA. I think
Good
even
because
without like any of the tournaments and things like that that they used to do.
oh yeah, I would call it I that tournament thing. I would say like would be like a once. They don't have to do it every year, right? They could do it like once every like 2 or 3 years, just something special, right? Um, I'm glad TNA is getting eyes on them now because for the longest time we were talking about before we even had the show. TNA is one of the best shows that nobody watches,
Mm-hmm.
and now people are watching it. So I'm glad people are watching it, and I'm glad they're selling out their events now. It's like these people like if there's any wrestling show that comes to your if it's TNA, like we said earlier in the show, if it's TNA, go and watch it. You will go home happy because they bust their ass. I don't care if you don't even know the storyline. You don't have to know the storyline. Just go there and watch them wrestle and do their thing. It is a great experience.
Yeah, yeah. There's like going to wrestling just to begin with is great, but definitely if they are in your area, you see them there, definitely go take a look. Because also, like we said earlier, those tickets are also like cheap. Like you're not gonna be spending like an arm and a leg to go watch them for like 4 hours. You'll get out of there with like $60 and you'll be good.
Yeah, and uh, you'll get out of there $60. You'll come out with a new appreciation for that show for sure. Like, yeah, for sure. Like, just go down and watch TNA, and especially if it's a pay per view. If it's a pay per view, fucking go. Just go
Mm-hmm.
because they go hard on pay per
Yeah, they
views.
do. They really do.
They go hard. So it's like, yeah, if they're in your area, whether it's for tapings of Impact or pay per view, just go down there because you'll get a great show. But with that, that's all I got for TNA. Any final thoughts from you?
I need to get Impact Plus so I can sit down and actually watch these episodes because I've been able to watch these episodes in a few weeks since they've taken it off of YouTube. So I
Yeah,
definitely need to get on that so I can actually have more opinions and have more things to talk about TNA. But it sounds like this was a really good episode. It sounds like everything that they wanted to do in this episode they did. This is a classic setup episode also, which is great.
yeah, for sure. It is a setup episode, but man, like they've kind of been on a roll. I'm not gonna lie, they've been on a roll because they pretty much had a two pay per view in a row thing like AEW did. So
Mm-hmm.
they were kind of like they had to roll like through two pay per views in a row, basically, in a short amount of time. So yeah, they're on a good streak.
It's good to hear.
Yeah.
With that, I
So with
think
that,
yeah, I think we can end this episode.
yeah, man. Like overall, good stuff. Um, and you know what? I'll do the honors for this episode.
Okay.
I'll close us out. So I know you guys heard me, and if you got this far, thank you. For one, thank you very much. And two, if you haven't hit that like button, you know what I need you to do. I need you to take the elbow pad off, climb up to the highest rope that you can get to. It could be the bottom rope or it could be the second rope. but preferably the top rope.
Mm-hmm.
And drop that elbow on the like button while jumping off the top rope. Come on, it's like the show. Give us some comments. Let's get a little back and forth going. And of course, smash that subscribe button because we like it, and we also like to have you guys over for the rest of the shows that we're gonna be dropping. So, of course, thank you, and once again, we out.
Peace.